Hi everyone, this is Delilah, and today I'm going to be doing a doll repaint of Bunny Blanc. My goal today is to try to make her look different than my previous Bunny Blanc repaint. I'm trying to practice repainting and getting better at that, and I'm going to try to make her have a very anime-ish look, and I want her to actually look sort of like a Dollfie Dream doll. We're going to see how that works out. The first thing I'm going to do is remove her factory paint with acetone nail polish remover. Now it's time to start the repaint. I'm going to take a couple of tiny hair clips and clip her hair out of my way. If you are using a spray-on sealant, this is where you'd want to actually wrap up the doll completely. However, I'm not using a spray-on sealant. I'm using Liquitex Matte Medium to create a surface on the vinyl that I can paint on and use watercolor pencils.
I take a few drops of the Liquitex Matte Medium and dilute it with some water. Then, using a makeup sponge, I dab on some of the matte medium, covering only areas of the face that I will need to draw on with the pencils. With a toothpick, I remove any pieces of dust on the face before the matte medium dries.
After just a couple minutes, it's basically dry, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Second layer. And a third layer. So now I'm going to take my watercolor pencils and I'm going to use a lightish brown color, a color that's lighter than what I will actually paint over it. And I'm going to start doing the outline of the eyes.
Bunny Blanc has eyes with a clear three-dimensional lash line, which makes it a little trickier to create a new eye shape. Since I am going for very large, almost squarish anime eyes, I've decided to incorporate the lines that are already there by making the lash line much thicker and changing the shape of the eyes overall. I'm then using a light color to draw in the irises so that I can erase or adjust them if necessary. I'm using an oval brush, which I think I got in a set of makeup brushes, to add blush to her face. I scribble on paper a little with a few shades of pink chalk pastels, then scoop it up with my brush and slowly apply it to the face. Before moving on to acrylic paints, I'm refining the lines I've drawn and adding some details like lashes and eyelid creases so that I have clear guides for the painting stage.
Now I'm going to start using acrylic paints. I'm going to start by painting in the whites of her eyes.
You'll notice that throughout the video I use both paints and the watercolor pencils because it's easier and more accurate to use pencils, but I need the paints to get vivid colors, especially because the pencils don't always seem to stick when you use the liquid sealant. I'm starting by filling in the irises with a mid-range shade of purple, and then I'll layer darker and lighter shades on top. Because I'm going for a cute anime look, I won't be filling in the pupil with black. So I'm creating shading in the center of the eye which indicates the pupil. The main thing I'm trying to achieve with the eyes, besides cuteness of course, is depth. I've seen some beautiful repaints where the artists were able to make it look like their dolls had inset glass eyes just because of their expert use of color. So I will be trying to create a vivid and dramatic gradient in the eyes to try to create this effect. I've never really taken any painting or color theory classes, so I tend to struggle sometimes when mixing my paints, and I get a little bit frustrated when I don't exactly know how to achieve what I'm picturing in my head. But that's how you learn, so I'll just keep at it, keep practicing, and I'm sure I'll learn a lot of things along the way. Painting on the lashes is probably the hardest part. But by drawing them on with colored pencils first, I'm able to make it a little easier for myself when I have that intimidating blob of black paint on the tip of my brush. Also, flipping the doll upside down is really helpful too. I'm refining and adding a little more detail to the lashes by going back in with pencils after. It's also important to add a bit of shading to the whites of the eyes to give them that look of having depth. Since this is an anime style repaint, I'm going all out with those pretty little highlights. I even put tiny little highlights on her cheeks. Although this probably isn't the best gloss glaze you can use, I have it, so I'm using Sculpey Gloss on her lips to give them a subtle shine. And with that, she's all finished. I'm pretty satisfied with her look. When I first finished this repaint, I didn't really like her lack of lipstick, but she's been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks now, and the more I've looked at her, the more I like how she's turned out. I'm also satisfied that I was able to achieve a totally different style from my first bunny repaint. I also dressed her up in this adorable Audino-inspired hoodie dress I made, and I love how it looks on her. What do you think of her? Do you like the style of this repaint? And P.S., do you like the Audino hoodie? I'm planning on making more cute hoodies inspired by Pokemon, and I was toying with the idea of selling them on Etsy. Should I do it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!